Hello and welcome along to this CrowdProperty funding opportunity for the Old Stables, Upper End, Birlingham, near Pershore, WR10 3DA. Now, CrowdProperty is a peer-to-peer lending platform designed to facilitate loans between private individuals and professional property businesses. CrowdProperty is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority under permission number 723959. CrowdProperty is not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. There are risks with any loans you make, and just like all peer-to-peer lending, your capital is at risk. CrowdProperty endeavours to protect all lenders. This is done by registering the legal first charge against the property project, and this means that in the very unlikely event a borrower defaults on the loan, CrowdProperty will be able to take ownership of the project and manage it for the lenders. So the Old Stables, Upper End, Birlingham in Pershore, that's Worcestershire WR10 3DA. It's located 10 miles east of Worcester and 20 miles north of Cheltenham. Built in the early 1900s, the Old Stables is situated at the heart of a former family estate in the village of Birlingham. The property has detailed planning consent under reference number 17/00945/CU for the conversion of existing offices and workshops into a 5-bedroom residential dwelling. The Old Stables is made up of 2 sections. There's the existing offices and workshops and a dwelling house called Stable Cottage. RIC's valuation of the existing property is £282,000, and Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, well, they estimate the gross development value to be £653,000. The property is already owned by the developer who lives in Stable Cottage. The minimum loan period is 6 months from the loan commencement date. That target is planned to start on the 23rd of November. It's a 12-month maximum loan term, and a first charge security on the offices and workshop area only is being offered. So, the borrowers propose to convert the existing office and workshop into a single dwelling. Now, access to the national motorway network is via junction 7 of the M5 motorway and also junction 1 of the M50 motorway. Both of those are less than 10 miles from the site. Pershore, about 3 miles to the north, is a market town in Worcestershire on the banks of the River Avon and has a population of 7,125 according to the 2011 census. Birlingham is described as being one of the most sought after villages in Worcestershire due to its location in the south of the county, with good access to Cheltenham, Worcester, Gloucester and Stratford, all of those being about 30 minutes drive away. Local large employers within commuting distance include Worcester Borsch, G-Tech, Ecclesiastical Insurance, Horizon Energy, St James Place, Mears Group and Colt Cars. Planning consent has been granted by Wychavon District Council. Remember that reference is 17/00945/CU. The site area is 0.11 hectares, is 0.27 acres, and the size of the property is 2,906 square feet or 270 square metres. Permission has been granted for the conversion of the office and workshop space to become a single 5-bed dwelling property. The borrower intends to refinance, let the property and hold at exit, although if they can't rent it then they will sell it on the open market. The maximum loan is for 12 months with a first charge security being offered. So here's the location map. You can see Worcester just here. This is the main M5 coming from Worcester, Birmingham to the north, down through, this is the M50 spur going on to Ross and White and the South Wales. This section here goes down towards Cheltenham, Gloucester and Bristol. And then you can see the main A44 from Worcester through to Evesham, with Pershore and Birlingham just in between here on the right hand side. Let me tell you more about the location. The area is well connected to the rest of the Midlands and South West, with junctions to join the motorway network on the M5 and M50, about 15 minutes drive. The site is situated approximately 30 minutes from Malvern Hills. That's an area recognised as an area of outstanding natural beauty. The Old Stables, well, they're located near to the heart of the village of Birlingham, 3 miles south of Pershore town centre, and local amenities include Treetop Nursery, Defford cum Besford C of E First School. There's a public house called the Swan Inn, and a church. That's the Church of St James the Great nearby. Rail services to London via Pershore station, that is just about 3 miles away, with direct line to London Paddington taking about 2 hours. There's a new station being built at Worcester Parkway, that's due to open in 2019. And that's approximately 6 miles away. So we'll offer direct train services to Birmingham and Bristol, and the village benefits from being surrounded by the River Avon, and as a result it has no through traffic. So the site plan for Stable Cottage is shown on the right hand side. Stable Cottage is half of the previous stable block. The existing dwelling forms one half then as shown there, hatched on the plan. The proposed development forms the other side of the courtyard, and the existing dwelling known as Stable Cottage, that is where the home of the borrower is on this particular project. That's the existing elevations just there. There's workshops and offices at the top there. This is like a fire escape, that's now been taken down, but that's the west elevation, south elevation, east elevation, and then the north elevation just here. The existing ground floor plans look just like this. CrowdProperty security is only taken on the unhatched area, and the hatched out area identifies the existing dwelling. That is where the borrower currently lives. So at the moment you come in here, you've got sort of a workshop just here that was used, reception and a kitchen for these workshops. This is a separate area here, sort of a former garage and an old stables on there. When we go up to the first floor, then you come up the stairs, and this then is sort of offices on both sides of that central area. Let me show you what is proposed. So this is the section we're looking at here. This is the bit that is for funding just here. This here belongs to the current owner, and that part there is also with the development. So from there and there, and this part here is single story, where that is double story. And there's an undercroft there, that's like an archway that's being built by the current owner that will separate the two buildings. The courtyard is for use by the developer himself, and the people here will have their entrance just here on the right hand side. Let me then show you the proposed elevations. The borrower is going to install Velux windows plus additional windows, including French windows on the ground floor, to create further natural light into the building, and the borrower will also create an archway to separate the two properties, the bit that I showed you earlier on the previous slide. Here then, that would be that fire escape just here, that's already been taken down, and this is there where they're putting in sort of lots of windows and everything to sort of help light to flood in. Let me show you the proposed ground floor plan. So as you come in through the front door, you've then got this area here where you've then got a family room just here, going on into a games room. This is the old former stable. It's got loads of character in there, and the developer's trying to sort of create something where they can retain all the wealth and beauty sort of within that room. So a games room with a sort of former stables that will be used for something else. When you come back into the entrance hall, you then come into a living space with a dining area just here, then through on into the kitchen. There's the kitchen. They are going to put a centre aisle here in the kitchen area as well for helping to cook, but lots of access here out into the garden and lots of light there flooding in. So that's the ground floor. Let's go upstairs here and show you what's happening on the upstairs. So as you come in then upstairs, you go across a sort of a bridge. The idea is to have this area open plan and this area, so that loads of light will flood in downstairs. When you come over the bridge, then you've got your main bedroom just here. There's the bedroom, there's the ensuite. This was an architect's idea that you could have an open bath in the bedroom. That's not maybe to everyone's taste, but that's what the architect was proposing. Whether that will actually turn up on the plans or not, the developer wasn't sure, but still a great space there in that bedroom. This is a separate shower room for the other bedrooms, but bedroom 2 has its own ensuite just here. Coming back onto the bridge, you then go into bedroom 4, bedroom 3 and bedroom 5. And there's another shower room there, so 2 showers to be shared between those other 3 bedrooms just there. So an overview then of the project financials and the proposed loan. This project is a single raise of £250,000. The current market value of the offices and workshop, verified by RICS, is £282,000. The estimated build cost of the development is £250,000, and so CrowdProperty will release on day 1 £120,000, and then all further draws will be verified by Independent Monitoring Surveyors recommendation. The total gross development value, again verified by RICS, is £653,000, and the initial loan to value is 42.6%. That expected loan to value at the exit, if it goes the full 12 months, when you include the rolled up interest, is 42.1%. So it's a single phase raise of 250,000, 42.6% initial loan to value, secured with a first charge against the property, paying 8% per annum interest, with the interest paid at the end of the project. The maximum loan period is 12 months, minimum loan period is 6 months from the loan commencement, and the loan is targeted to commence on the 23rd of November, and the capital plus the interest is going to be repaid from the sale of the property. So that sale of the property, by the way, is if it doesn't rent out, which is what the borrower intends to do first of all. So the borrower is Michael Porter. He lives in the property just next door to this particular one, and he has a wealth of professional experience, previously working in insurance as a broker, working in London, Saudi Arabia and Hong Kong. And Michael proceeded to gain an MSc in management at London Business School. Michael has 17 years of experience as a management consultant, leading very large-scale change projects involving, in the case of Tesco, a team of over 120 people. Michael has successfully completed an extension to his previously Grade 2 listed home in Oxfordshire. He did that on time and to budget, and the project involved new kitchen and bathrooms, as well as landscaping and various other improvements. He's also worked closely with Chadwick Forrester, that's his nominated contractor, on a previous conversion. Here is a case study. So this one he did with Chadwick Forrester. I'll tell you more about them in just a few moments. The previous project was a conversion of a former store to become offices elsewhere on the property. Michael uses this space as his personal office, and this project was delivered on time and to budget. They started on the 20th of May 2017 and it was completed in July 2017. Build cost of just £27,212. And Chadwick Forrester then is going to be the main contractor that Michael is choosing on this particular project. He had seen them working elsewhere previously, and he approached them because he noticed that they were on time, early in the morning, staying late, and the vans always looked clean. So he invited them to come and bid on this particular project with him. They started trading back in April 2009 and have since undertaken numerous conversion works, from basement conversions, garage conversions and multiple story extensions. A previous project included the conversion of a basement to become a living area. That involved full tanking to prevent damp, insulation, boarded and plastered walls, and also a ceiling. His architect is Big Small Space, chartered architectural design company based in Kidderminster locally, and they're LABC registered, that's Local Authority Building Control registered. Their key philosophy is to produce designs that are carefully considered to ensure the maximum potential is achieved within the budget that is available. That's their website, bigsmallspace.com. Case study of them: they did a barn conversion in Kidderminster. They got new permitted development rights which came into force back in 2014, allowed the owners of this Dutch style agricultural barn to gain approval for conversion to a large contemporary dwelling. The existing steel portal frame was retained, upgraded where required and left exposed externally. Walls are proposed to be a mix of brick infill and feature timber cladding, and there's a standing seam roof to finish reflecting the original building. Large aluminium glazed panels have been incorporated into the existing openings. That's to flood the interior with natural light, and the aim is a more vernacular appearance suiting the original building and its location. That contract value was £250,000. So CrowdProperty believes in responsible lending and borrowing. The amount of this loan is based on the project and experience. The total agreed to lend is £250,000 over a single phase raise. The remaining amount is going to be contributed towards the cost of works and will be released upon Independent Monitoring Surveyors verification. The day one advance is £120,000, representing a loan to value of the site at 42.6%. The loan to value at completion of the development, if it goes full term, including the rolled up interest, will reduce down to 42.1%. And CrowdProperty will have the first charge to protect lenders in the event of any default. The RICS view of the gross development value is £653,000 based upon active planning application. The loan term is a maximum of 12 months. So your next steps then please are to make sure that you understand the loan. Please carry out your own due diligence on this project and also the developer, and then decide how much you would like to lend. CrowdProperty.com is the place to be on launch, and that launch is 10 a.m. on Tuesday the 13th of November. That you better view it before that time, but it will automatically go live at 10 a.m. on Tuesday the 13th of November. You'll be invited to pledge on launch, and then Crown Property will conduct the necessary anti-money laundering checks on people wanting to invest in this project, and then you'll be invited to send your funds to your own Crown Property e-wallet, and you'll start earning interest on completion of the loan agreement. So thank you for joining us on this webinar. I hope you'll be able to support us on the old stables, upper end in Birlingham near Pershore, WR10 3DA. My name is Andy Haynes, and I look forward to you joining us again on another Crowd Property webinar very soon.